Greetings and welcome to this episode of the Heal and Restore podcast with your host, me, Randy, and my goofy wife over here, Cathy. Somehow
Hey,
she always gets me to smile by making me laugh before we come on.
yeah, no, we got to
So
do that. He's got that serious, stern look
I
to
know
himself.
it's just who I am. I
I
mean,
know,
I'm laughing inside, I'm smiling
I
inside,
know you
but
are,
you
but I
know,
got you today.
you got me today. Well, this was a great week.
Yes, it is.
This was a great week, and I hope why is it a great week?
Well, because it's the week of love.
Oh,
The whole
really?
month of February reminds me of love.
Yeah, it does for you. Exactly. So, um, just we want to wish you all a very, very happy Valentine's Day. And if you don't,
Valentine's week. No, no, no.
Valentine's week,
Ladies, it's
oh,
Valentine's
here we
week.
go.
So we want to make sure that
Okay, you can make it a month and a week. Don't make it a year.
no, no. But
Okay. All right.
I'm just letting the ladies
Okay.
know that you can take care of your significant other or your children. Just give them some extra love all week. Every day, do something special. It doesn't have to
It
be monetary, just even if it's just a beautiful
no.
compliment or words of
Yeah,
affirmation,
yeah. Physical
um,
touch, words of affirmation.
big hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, you can do the same thing for your wives. Every day should be Valentine's Day in a healthy
Yep,
relationship.
there you go.
Every day should
Oh,
be
and
Valentine's.
speaking of healthy relationships, what are we going to talk about today?
Oh, today we're going to talk about what are some tips on helping your partner when they are down emotionally.
Yeah,
That is
so
powerful.
Justina brought us
Yes,
this
yes.
question. We
Yep.
put that out there. And
Hmm.
this was a great question, and
Hmm.
I know that we have dealt with this particular
A lot.
topic. I
Yes.
think if we're honest and transparent with ourselves, we all can say that at some point or another we have been down emotionally.
And if I can say, I believe for us, this started that afternoon at Dana Point when I revealed to you my abuse.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember?
probably, yeah, because
Probably because you were going to save and fix
I
me.
was gonna save and fix you, but boy, for many years I went down a rabbit hole of trying to do that.
Yeah.
But
That was
today,
that was 40 years ago.
I know that was, but
No,
today,
41, 42.
well,
A
41, yeah,
long time ago.
it was many years ago. But today I can say that I have learned, and some of the tips that we're going to share on this
Hmm.
are a
Hmm.
lot of the things that I have learned to apply. And so if I could save you, or if we could save you 40 years of struggle, that's what this podcast is going to do today. We're going to talk about some tips that will help you in a relationship, whether it's a marriage, whether it's just a boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancés,
Well, in any
any
relationship,
relationship, your
really, I mean,
kids.
you just
This
got to
could be a,
adjust it.
yeah, this can apply to even your
Yeah,
family members, your kids.
exactly.
So,
I mean, it's something that Kathy and I, actually, Kathy really had to learn to do with me.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
much more, yeah, much
much
more on
more.
that side of it. Although I am finding some of these things will apply to me as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%,
And
absolutely.
until we kind of did some study on this and got the research and got the information, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I need. So
Yeah,
I'm still learning. We're still learning as we go in life.
but it's one thing that you really learn how to harness in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Because you used to say, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. So "Oh, don't
Yeah.
do that
No,
to
no,
me.
we're going to get into that.
We're
Don't
gonna
get
get into
ahead of
that. Okay,
yourself
all right,
here.
all right.
He gets too passionate about his stuff.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so let's talk about that. So when your partner's feeling down emotionally, what are some things we can do? We have to offer support in a loving, non-judgmental way.
Hmm.
That's the key to all of this. But we've got some little more detailed tips. I think they're
Yes,
going to
they're
help. I mean,
very
some of these
important.
I've learned to do, others you've learned to do. So, what's the first tip we want to share?
Be present and
Mm,
listen. That the most important tool in communication
yeah,
is listening. It's not talking,
no.
but it's listening.
Yeah, and sometimes the most important thing we can do is just sit and simply listen. And so we have to let our partner express how they're feeling without interrupting or trying to immediately solve the problem. That was me.
And
I was
then,
wanting to fix it all because I was uncomfortable.
right, and then when we do that, what's the most important thing we can do? Like if you were to come to me, and I'll talk about when I had the affair. I was told that when Kathy wanted to talk about the affair, I had to sit down and listen.
Yeah.
The most important part of that was when she was done talking, I had to validate her emotions by saying things like, I can see why you're feeling this way. That sounds really tough. You have a right to feel that
Yeah.
way. All those things, and just know I love you and I'm going to be here for you.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think if the person who is down just has that validation
Yes.
that they're okay,
Yeah.
I know we're going to get through it a little quicker
Yeah.
sometimes. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's not quick, but other times it's just like we can just sit and be present.
And sometimes that's all you need to do.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
need to be, I got it off my chest. Can I give an example?
Yeah,
Real simple.
sure.
It's like you've heard me do this a couple of times. We'll be driving down the road. I might have heard something or a song or something, and I turn to
Yeah.
Kathy and I said, "Man, Kathy, I'm really angry right now. Oh, I'm just angry." She goes, "Why?" I go, "Because I feel my childhood was taken from me. I
Hmm.
feel I was cheated out of a lot in
Yeah.
life." And I just expressed that to her, and this is her answer all the time to me. It's like, "Yeah, it's got to be hard, and I understand why you feel that way."
Yeah.
And you know what? As soon that's the end of the conversation, and I'm out of it
That
just
you've
like
been
that.
able to express
I was
yourself
able to
without,
express myself,
yeah,
didn't
without,
have to internalize it. I expressed it to her. She validated how I felt, understood how I felt, and said, "Okay,"
yeah,
and then
that's
I'm
good.
fine.
Yeah. So another little tip we have here is to offer physical
Mhm.
comfort.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and a lot of times, and if you know your partner love language is physical touch, this really is important. But if your partner appreciates physical affection,
Mhm.
maybe it's just a hug or holding their hand, or maybe just sitting close and,
And I love
you
that
know,
right there. Yeah.
putting my arm around
Yeah.
you, something that's going to make you feel comforted, or the person who's going through the emotional stress to feel
Right.
comforted. So physical touch definitely reduces stress, and it provides a reassurance that you're there for them.
And when you hug your partner, it's a 20-second hug.
Hmm.
Hold on to her or him. Hold them tight. Don't pat their back. That's telling your partner I'm done. Hold on to them for 20 seconds and let those endorphins start kicking in.
Hmm.
And Kathy, and it's something I've been practicing a lot with Kathy. I'll just come up, well, you want a hug? She goes, yeah. And I'll
Yeah,
just
no, it's
hold
good.
on to it. So,
Yeah, so physical touch definitely
yep,
helps ease some of the
100%.
stress that a person's
Yep.
carrying. So this one is really, really helpful. So
This has been Kathy's
it's
biggest win.
my go-to.
Biggest win. Ask how you can help.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Because sometimes, like we just talked about, the best way you can help is just to listen.
Hmm.
All right. Instead of assuming what your partner needs,
Yeah, because I
right?
tried that for a lot of years. It didn't work.
Ask directly. And I want to let Kathy, because this is what she has
Yeah,
become very good at.
yeah. So what I do is, sometimes I can see Randy kind of drifting off, or I might notice that his energy has shifted. And so I'll ask, hey, are you okay? And he'll
Mhm.
tell me, I'm kind of struggling, or I'm a little down, but I'll be all right. And I'll ask, what can I do to help you?
Mhm.
Is there anything I can do to help
Mhm.
you to make it easier? So that shows that I'm respecting your feelings.
Right.
I'm allowing you
Yep.
to feel the emotions that
Mhm.
you're feeling, but I'm also giving you a place that you can express your needs if you have them. And a lot of times you'll just say, no, I'll be all right. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of in a funk.
Yeah. I'll work through it.
But I've learned to ask because, the reason I've learned to ask, number one, it helps you, but the
Mhm.
main thing is it helps me. It kind of releases me of this mindset that I have had for many, many years of I'm uncomfortable, I need to fix him.
Right.
And that's not a good
And
place for me to be. And so for me, it's just a matter of releasing myself, but letting you know I'm there for you.
absolutely, because in the past, before she started working on this, she would just automatically, well, why don't you do this? Or maybe you should do this or
Yeah.
call this. It's like, oh, woman,
No,
you
I had to
know,
step aside.
yeah, it's like, I'm not asking for advice.
Yeah. And then the next one is great too, is talk about
Right.
stepping aside.
Right.
It's give them space if needed.
Absolutely.
We have to learn to take a time out and walk away with love.
With love.
And let your partner know that you need space and
Right.
honor your requests. Now,
Absolutely.
this is something I'm realizing for myself. A lot of times if I'm in a funk, or if we've had a struggle, if there's
Hmm.
something we're struggling in, a lot of times I just need space to process my emotions
Right.
by myself.
And it's,
And so respecting that solitude, it helps me to understand that I'm okay. I just need some space to recharge. But the trick in this is letting your partner know you're doing that. I have
yeah.
not been good at that. There have been times where I just kind of disappear And Randy's like,
Mhm.
then he's like, comes back and what's going on? What's wrong with you? Or, are you sick?
Mhm.
What are you doing? And then I'm stressed again. So when I can learn to say, hey, I need a timeout. I'm going to just process my emotions. I'll come back to you, but just let me have that space.
That's a really good point because it's all a part of learning to get your voice back.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. Growing up, and I'm writing about this right now for the new book. It's this exact subject.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, we were likely shut down when we
Yeah.
tried to talk about our feelings or emotions. Nobody was going to listen. Nobody cares. All this. So, as we become adults, it's just a natural thing. Nobody cares anyways. Why would I say anything?
Right.
And a lot of that can be affirmed by past old behaviors and the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's on both on Cathy,
Yeah.
learning to say, hey, I just need some space. And then on my part, okay, I got to honor
Honoring
her
that. It's
space.
not personal.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And I'll just, something just came to mind on that is I used to stay in my funk and think that I had to stay there. And that was
How'd that
not,
work
that
for you?
wasn't good. It wasn't good. I thought that, I am the wife, I'm the spouse, I've got to take care of everything. There's no space, there's no time for me to process my own emotions.
Right.
And that was not a good
No.
place to be. So take the time you need, but let your partner know, hey, I need a timeout, recharge, come back, reset, ready, go.
And oftentimes when you can take that time out and both partners take that time out,
Yeah.
and you start doing the other part of that time out is start doing some self-reflection during that time out. Just don't go there and stew.
No, why am I feeling this
Yeah.
way? What's going on? Maybe
Yeah.
journal.
Yeah,
Those are
journal,
the
whatever,
yeah.
self-reflect. And
Yeah.
a lot of times you might come back and say, you know what,
That was really
that was
silly.
really silly. We didn't argue that.
Been
I
there, done that.
apologize, right? And usually, like if I apologize, and Cathy, it makes it real easy for Cathy too, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We work in
get out of
tandem when it
yourself,
comes to
check
that.
your pride, check your ego, work on making each other number one.
Yeah. Yeah. And this other one too is really, really important.
Yeah.
They're all important. I keep saying really, really
They're
important.
all very
But
important.
offer encouragement without
Yes,
pressure.
right.
We have to be able to provide gentle encouragement, but we don't want to push them and say things like snap out of it.
No.
Things like I believe in you, or you're going to get through this, or we're going to get through this together. They can be helpful, but keeping it in a tone of
Yeah, very
support.
much.
And be mindful not to sound dismissive. I mean,
Mhm.
make it inviting. Give those words of encouragement without the pressure to draw them in.
And that's where I statements come in over you just need you, right? You need to remove the word you because automatically when you tell somebody you need to do this, the walls go up and you get defensive.
Right.
Right.
And
So
we don't want to sound dismissive or create more conflict with the emotion that's already there.
yeah, within the one that's having a problem.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing, as far as a good word, and I just thought about this, is that, we've been through this before, and I know it's tough, but I believe, like you said, I believe in you, and we're gonna get through this. You're gonna get through this. We're gonna do it together.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing too, is that, especially, for you, because you have been in and out of emotions our entire marriage. We've been through it before. So just acknowledge the fact that we got through it before and we'll
Yeah,
get through it again.
absolutely.
There's nothing embarrassing about that. It's just part of life. It's part of the emotions, the God-given emotions that God has given us.
And part of this too, I need to throw this in there, is close a chapter on whatever happened before, because this is a new journey of recovery. When we use that term all the time, we're closing the chapter on that, right? And so in doing that, it's like we have to understand that we're both making a change. And so, yeah, we're reminded oftentimes it's right on the top of our head about how our partner might have responded in the past. But if we're both on this journey, close that chapter. You're both learning a new way to act, new way to respond to each other, a new way to love to each other. It's gonna take time.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
give
really
yourself
good.
that time and grace.
Yeah. You can't keep that window open because that window just allows the enemy in as
Gotta
well.
close it.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It takes a little bit of
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah, that's good. And then the other thing that's really important too is to avoid offering solutions right away. It's natural to want to fix things. Hello, Miss
well, I
Fixer
think
over here.
we're all fixers. We made
Well,
the
I was really good at
You
it.
were
But
good at it.
yeah, but
Wow.
sometimes they just need to be heard and understood.
You thought you were good at it. Sorry.
I did a lot of work to try to be good at it. But offering solutions too quickly it can make them feel like their emotions aren't being fully acknowledged. And that's
Yeah.
such a hard thing to do because for
Mhm.
me, I'll just share, I
Mhm.
was very uncomfortable with your
Yeah.
emotions. They weren't even my
No.
emotions, they were your emotions. So I think that's when I stepped in and said, try to fix things, was because I was uncomfortable in those emotions.
Yeah.
So we have to wait until that person is ready for advice, if they even ask for it. And we don't want to give them feedback if it's unsolicited. So we have to be able to ask, hey, would you like me to give you some words of encouragement? Would you like to hear a thought that I have? I've had to do this, but yeah, that unsolicited advice, I was good at that too, unfortunately.
And it's like this slip of mine was really important too.
It'll come back.
Well, yeah, but it has to do with do not, no unsolicited advice. That'll come back.
Yeah, it'll
I
come
do.
back. But that's one thing that, I always felt like I was giving you unsolicited advice, to the point where I would stand on my head to try to make you feel better. And he didn't ask me to stand on my head against the wall, but I sure did that because I was uncomfortable.
Right, 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 right.
So, yeah, now unsolicited advice, just sit with them, ask them, if they want feedback.
Yeah, sometimes it's important too because on this journey of recovery, we're experiencing a lot of new feelings and emotions that we
Mm,
didn't allow ourselves to feel for
it's
a
good.
very, very, very long time. Oftentimes, I will have somebody call us up or reach out to us. What do I do with these feelings?
Hmm.
And the answer is simply, you're going to sit with them. You're feeling them probably for the first time in a very, very long time because for years, in one way or another, you've been anesthetizing those feelings: drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling,
Food.
food, whatever it might be, to push those feelings down in a way because they're very
Hmm.
uncomfortable. You were never taught how to deal with them.
Right.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
Nobody ever told you, hey, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to do this. And so instead, they're very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it's learning to just sit with them. Make sure you have a good mentor or a coach or a good therapist that you can express those feelings to
Hmm.
in a healthy
Yeah,
way. And they teach you, they work with you on how to work through those emotions and
absolutely.
feelings.
Yeah, I love this tip. I wish I would have known this tip earlier, because creating a calm environment, creating safe space is so important. We want to help our partner feel safe, and
Mm-hmm.
so by supporting a calming, creative, calm atmosphere, whether it's just simply dimming the lights, playing.
Mm-hmm.
I play spa music
Yeah.
sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and just, or maybe making a cup of coffee or a cup of tea,
Mm-hmm.
something that's going to bring you comfort. But that peaceful environment can help you feel relaxed and cared for, or help that person feel relaxed and cared for.
Whether you're married or just living together, right? After a long day of work, our houses, our homes,
Yeah.
right? A house is a house. The home is what we make it, right? Our homes are supposed to be a safe sanctuary for
Yeah.
us to come home to, a peaceful sanctuary for us to come home to. And again, if you haven't been shown this growing up, it's going to take work, but it can be done. And that's what Cathy has done. I've told her countless
Yeah.
times. Yeah, we got houses and they look nice, but Cathy has made the atmosphere of our house very much a home. And we've had this discussion. This is supposed to be a safe sanctuary. And there's times you might not feel safe, but we have to express it. And why don't you feel safe?
Right.
That would be the key thing. It's like,
Yeah.
again, it's being able to voice your emotions and your feelings.
Yeah.
It's critical
Yeah.
to have a healthy, loving relationship.
Yeah, creating that calm
Yeah,
environment's beautiful.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then, the next item is checking in regularly.
Right.
Continue to check in with your partner in the days that follow.
Right.
Even though they might look like they got everything's kind of under control, just ask, hey, how are you doing? If we show that ongoing support, that means we're invested, that we're there and they're not alone. And I think that's what's important. Even though they look like they might be snapped out of it, just say, hey, I notice that you're feeling better. Is everything, how are you feeling these days? Just acknowledge that you see that they've gotten through that
Right.
emotional down that they were in, and just let them know that you see it. Acknowledge it, because then I think that doesn't that build up in you, give
Yeah.
you that
Yeah.
empowerment that I can get through this, and I did get through it.
Yeah. And like for Cathy too, the one thing, she revealed and we talk about this with our clients, is that, here he goes again.
Mhm.
Never said it to
Yeah,
me, never once, but she goes,
always
God,
felt
here
it.
he goes again. How
Yeah,
am I going to get through this? Right. And that kind of attitude needs to go away. At
yeah,
first, it's very understandable.
yeah,
But if you're on a road to recovery, remember we're opening a new chapter,
yeah,
and we're having to program our neural pathways. So it's gonna be difficult. You're gonna have those feelings, and those thoughts are okay.
yeah.
But how are you gonna express them? Do you need to express them? Kathy never expressed that to me.
No, and I think now when because that mindset will still come up, here we go again. That's like almost my cue now to like, okay, step into action. Ask
Right,
him how
right,
he's feeling. Does he need anything?
right.
So it's my reminder now, not so much to join him, but to put myself in action to do what I can to help him.
And the one thing that we're working on right now is when I'm with Kathy or away from where I'm supposed to be, if I'm going to a meeting, whatever, I express my feelings in the home pretty strongly.
Hmm.
And Kathy was struggling with that for a while. She's still a little bit. And I've sat down and explained to her, look, this is my safe place. I voice these things this way
Hmm.
here. But when I get, like when I was in business, if I get in a meeting, those emotions are gone
Yeah.
because I've let them out. I might let them out with my number one guy or in the office.
Hmm.
I let things out with Kathy. It's like so that I don't have to carry those.
Yeah.
And that's a good lesson that people need to reach out with their phone to call some accountability partners.
Right.
Like for instance, that's what I would do all the time. I would reach out so I wouldn't have to go home and be all upset
Right.
and take it out on Kathy. This is different.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this last couple here, as we kind of wind down,
Mm.
is avoiding just to avoid minimizing their
No,
feelings. Don't
no,
say things like it's not a big deal or other people have it worse or just get over it. This can make you feel unheard,
um,
unvalidated, dismissed. Instead, acknowledge that pain, like we talked about earlier. Let them know that you're there for them.
yeah,
There's nothing worse than having words that are spoken over you
in a
that
negative way.
make you in a negative
Yeah,
connotation that make you feel like there's something wrong with you,
yeah. Feelings are
that
feelings.
they're not okay.
Yeah, if your feelings are your feelings. Period.
Hmm.
In a conversation, nobody should tell you you can't feel that way. You should feel this way, or you need
No,
to.
yeah,
No, nobody should do that to you. Your feelings are just feelings, and once we're surrounded by a support system, a partner that understands there's just feelings and he's expressing his
yep.
feelings, right? And we're accepted.
And
It changes the whole dynamic. It's like, okay,
yeah,
yeah,
no, it's just like that self-reflection
yeah,
allows you to identify the feelings and realize that you'll work through
yeah.
them. You'll work through them. They're not going to just go away. You have to
No,
you have to do that self-reflection.
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and then our last tip that we have, and this is one that is always so important, is encourage professional help if needed.
If needed, yeah.
If your partner's emotional struggles seem to be persistent, or they're extremely overwhelming, or they're just completely shutting them down and they can't get out of bed or they can't go to work, gently encourage them to seek professional help,
Hmm.
such as therapy, coaches, heal and restore counseling. Be supportive in suggesting options too. It doesn't have to be just one, but let them take the lead. Just kind of mention it and start the dialogue and let them take the lead in that.
And here's something I feel is very, very important. If you see a struggle with your partner,
Mm,
likely you're struggling too. So
that's good.
this kind of journey isn't one-sided. Oftentimes the reporting party, we should say, they're the ones that are struggling the worst. So it's best that you both do this together.
Hmm.
Because if Kathy or I was learning how to communicate in a healthy way. But Kathy's just looking at her, well, what the heck are you doing, right?
Hmm.
And she's still not on board with me.
Hmm.
It's not going to work. We have
Well,
to have our partners got to be on this journey with us.
absolutely. And I was just going to say that has been our experience.
Yes,
We have been on this journey together for
20
20
years.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just celebrated 19 years last
Sobriety,
week
yeah.
of sobriety, but our journey started a
Before
year
that,
before
yeah.
that. So I think being on the journey together, understanding your struggles and still learning mine,
Mm-hmm.
even in this 20 years down the
Mm-hmm.
road, we have been able to do this together,
Yeah,
individually, but yet together.
Yeah, you're on your own recovery journey, but
Right.
you want to be on the same railroad track going the same way, because that's why it's really important to really. Our strong feeling is this: if you're going to work on this, you do it together with the same coach or therapist.
Yeah,
You don't have
absolutely.
separate people telling you separate things. That's just going
It
to
just
create
creates
more
more,
chaos.
more chaos. So, as we close this up here, one of the things that I think is just really important that we have to cover and know is that the most important thing is we have to be able to show empathy.
Yep, absolutely.
We have to
100%.
be very patient.
Yep.
And we have to be willing to be there with our partner through not just the good times, but through the tough times as well. But emotional support, it strengthens your bond and it helps them feel safe and cared for in a vulnerable moment. And we have been in a lot of those vulnerable moments.
Yeah.
But yet we've always come out. We've always made it through. So it's about being supportive. It's about being present. It's about validating. There's so many things that having a good partner that's willing to journey with you is going to help get you to the other side.
If you're a young couple listening to this, I want to express something to you in a very loving way. Marriage is not easy.
Relationships, all
relationships aren't easy. But let's talk this Valentine's week, the intimate relationship between either, partners living together or a marriage, right? It's a journey. It's a lifetime commitment. We're going to go through ups and downs in your marriage.
Yeah.
And marriage takes a lot of work. And Cathy and I we haven't been married for 41 years, living on a pink cloud all this time. We've learned a lot of ups and downs, a lot of very, very, very hard struggles that we've come to. And it's like, that's not the time to quit. That's the time to dig down deep, grab all the courage you can muster, all the strength you can muster, and just work through it. Don't try to go around it. Don't start drowning your sorrows with some kind of addiction. You've got to do this together. It's hard work, but it's sustainable if you're willing to do the hard work.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of open-mindedness and that willingness. Those are the two key things to any kind of success in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any
That's
kind
beautiful.
of success in life.
Yeah. So what a great topic. And Justina, thank you for asking that question of what are some tips on helping your partner when they're down emotionally. So we hope that helped those that are listening. A couple things that I want to go over here. One of the things, I'm going to put a call to action out. The only way that we can reach people is through you. So you, the listeners, I'm going to encourage you to send this podcast to 5 people.
Yes.
5 people, whether you think they're going to catch on or not, that's okay.
And whether they listen to it or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, just, send it to them and say, hey, this is a great podcast. I've been listening to it for a while, or, hey, this is a great topic. Thought I would share it with you. Pass it on to 5 people. And those 5 people, that's 5 more listeners than we had before. So
if I can add that a little bit too, please, if you haven't already done so, press the like, follow, and subscribe button.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you nothing. It takes 2 seconds. We're not going to bother you with all sorts of unnecessary
and
stuff.
We also upload all of our podcasts on YouTube, so they're available as well on YouTube.
Yep.
And the last thing I want to just remind everybody is follow us on, actually not the last thing, I lied. I got a couple things here. Instagram, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Heal and Restore Counseling. We also want to make sure that we share with you, and you can share with others, that we still have we will always have our discovery session. If you are looking for some coaching, whether it's in relationship, whether it's in your individual self, trauma, addiction, please go to healandrestorecounseling.com, click on the link and sign up. We will reach out to you, and we offer this no cost to you. It's a 1-hour discovery session. We realize 45 minutes is just not enough.
Right.
We do that because we want to get to know you, and we want you to get to know us. Or if it's a one-on-one and you're looking for individual, either one of us, and we want to make sure it's the right fit. When we're taking this journey, we want to make sure that we are feeling safe, that we know that we can get through that with the help of our coaches. So check out healandrestorecounseling.com for more information there, as well as our books.
Absolutely.
Our books are available on Amazon. We have our Renewing Bonds, as well as How to Heal and Restore your marriage, as well as a couple of Randy's
Gee.
books, Healing the Wounded Child Within.
30-day devotion of the whole
Yep,
there.
all you can find all of our books at our
Right.
website
Yes.
or at Amazon.
Amazon. I just checked
Just
the website.
Google Randy Boyd, you'll find him. He's
Yeah.
there. So no, we encourage you to reach out. Now, I will say on our most recent release, Renewing Bonds, you can go to our website. There's a link you can click on that, and we will send you a free, no cost PDF copy of that book if it's something that you're interested in, and we're more than happy to send that to you.
Yeah, they just got to fill out the contact form and request the book.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, we hope you guys take something away from this. And like we always say, take what you want. You can leave the
Yeah,
rest.
that's okay with us.
These are things that have helped us and helped a lot of our clients
Yeah.
to have a much better relationship with their partner, their kids, their sibling, just in general, have
Yeah.
better relationships.
Absolutely.
So remember this, everybody. If nobody tells you they love you, Randy does.
Cathy does.
More importantly, God does. Be blessed, everybody. Have a great Valentine's Day with your lover.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.